Well, to continue the military theme, next Thursday, you're welcome to come back and join us at 11:30. We're having our annual Gilbert Veterans Day celebration out here on the lawn. And I just found out this morning that we're going to have a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter on display from the National Guard. And they're actually going to fly it in and not truck it in. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. Our keynote speaker this year is, I don't know, how did we get a Navy captain? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I got a Navy guy to come down. Captain Steve Borden, who is the commanding officer of the newly formed, they're just now in their second year, Naval ROTC unit at Arizona State University. So we're very honored to have Steve speaking to us this year. So look forward to you joining us next Thursday.
The Navy part, let's see, Council Member John Sins, former Navy captain. I don't know how we would get someone from the Navy that would come. So we may be back at the library next year just for space, but this year we wanted you to come if you've not had a chance to see the 9/11 Memorial. It's right outside the front doors, and you traveled when you came in on American Heroes Way. And so thank you for coming. Tomorrow night at the Town Council meeting, the first part is when the Freedom Award will be formally given to the town of Gilbert, and if you're in the vicinity, please stop by, and a couple of these posters talk a little bit more about that. Now, I am interrupting some of the flow, but if you would turn to page 2, you see at the top on the welcome. John, if you could come forward, and Councilmember Victor Peterson, I'm going to have the two of you just come up here for a minute. We have, I've got 2 flipboards I'm going to pass around, and let's start it now, and I'll pass it over. I'll start with you. We're not looking for 100 volunteers on this one, but 5 to 10, and Councilmember Peterson has an assignment representing the town related to various activities of community services, and one is looking at the possible integration of For Our City into Gilbert. And to my left, John McCadden, who has, as a pastor, been involved in years of activities, including at the state legislature, and now his ministry has expanded to serving cities in a way where not just faith groups, but nonprofit groups, for-profit groups, businesses, just community leaders are coming together, and so we're looking at how to bring that into Gilbert. So this sign-up sheet is if you wanted to be a volunteer to join a meeting that Councilmember Peterson will be leading to talk about how we could incorporate For Our City into Gilbert. There's information that's been passed out. I'm actually going to pass the microphone to, I don't know if Councilmember Peterson wants to say anything, and to John, you can tell a little bit more about it just quickly, but we'll be getting a few of you together to talk about it, and then in 2012 we look at telling you more about how we will incorporate For Our City into Gilbert. Should I go this direction, Victor, please?
I'll say something real quick and then I'll hand it off to John. I believe so deeply in the desire of our citizens to serve others. I believe in that. And I think the key is really just to connect them to those who are in need. And it's a simple statement, connect those who want to give with those who are in need. But it takes everybody's help. It takes cooperation, it takes collaboration. And so I have the passion for that, but not necessarily all the skills and expertise. And so it starts here with all of us, and also I appreciate the expertise of those who've worked in that very effort. So I'll hand that off to John.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Almost. Just very quickly, what For Our City is. For Our City is a program that was started by CARE Inc. And CARE Inc. is a civic nonprofit organization. It's not a faith-based organization, so it plays nice with everyone. And that the civic organization, the first thing we do is we celebrate all the great things that are going on in the town of Gilbert. Because you guys are doing phenomenal things. And many times you do those things and very few people know about it. So one of the first things we do is we just celebrate the good people and the good work of Gilbert. Then the next thing we do is we begin to communicate. We begin to share information and share ideas. And those ideas, normally we look to, as has already been stated, connect the dots between the needs and the resources. And maybe eventually we'll even take a look at maybe the overlap of resources and efforts, and how can we collaborate together to maximize those. And that actually leads to the next thing, and that's collaboration. It's what can we do better together than we can separately. And then also the communication aspect of it. And that communication then leads to something that I'm very excited about, and that's called a committee. Believe it or not, this is designed for a host committee, and that's what you're being asked to sign today. Do you have the passion and the time and the energy to serve on a host committee that will be, I guess, co-chaired, is that correct, by Councilman Peterson? But it serves the passion of the mayor. We're currently in 10 cities and towns in Arizona, and it stays on track because we serve the passion of the mayor. The mayor represents all the people of Gilbert. Do we agree with that? Yes. All right, so with that and his passion, and certainly I will say this, I believe God has really richly blessed the town of Gilbert with a mayor who has a passion to help people. So if you're interested, it's a great journey, it's a great ride, and I look forward to serving with you. Thank you.
Mr. Dillon, I'm going to give you something else that's completely different. You also received, and this is as long as we're passing things around, Celebration Stem Cell Center will be talked about near the end of our summit. But there's a sign-up sheet. We have 3 tours that will take place, and so you can flip the page and see there's one in January, but the front page is November and December. To our faith group leaders, you'll have to go on faith at this point. This is something you'll want to see. It's about a 30 to 40 minute tour, and if we run out of space on it, you can go on the back side. But we'll talk more about this, but we were going to send out an email and just get feedback as to who would like to come, but I said, this is too nice of an opportunity, so Celebration Stem Cell Center tours, we'll pass that around, and if you are available any of those 3 days and have 30 to 40 minutes, it's located near Mercy Gilbert Hospital, which is in central Gilbert. Next, Chief Tim Dorn, our police chief. We have a desire today, and should I have all the chaplains come up now?
We have, I believe, one here with us.
Any of our, oh, I see a couple. Any of our fire or police chaplains, if you could come forward. And just kind of stand up in this vicinity. I'm going to give the microphone to Chief Dorn. There was a question from some of our faith group leaders. Will tell us first, what does it mean to be a chaplain? How do you become a chaplain? And so we expanded that to just also say, we wanted to say thanks to our chaplain. But Chief Dorn, please. I've got, I'll find the two.
Thank you, Mayor. Back in 2006, we lost one of our police officers here in Gilbert. And we recognized then that we had a void within our organization of being able to help our officers and employees through difficult times. And we've got a very effective counseling section that goes out and helps victims, but we also had a piece missing there on some of our tragedies that we deal with within the police department. So we developed a chaplain program then. Doc's going to tell you a little bit more about it, I think, and Sherry about exactly what they do. But from my standpoint, I can't tell you how important it is. And probably the most important thing that these folks do for us isn't necessarily the coming out on those difficult calls, it's the wandering the hallways. And they'll come in, they come into my office quite frequently, and we just chat and talk about some things that are going on in the organization and going on in our personal lives. And they're just being there for our employees who have to deal with some pretty tough things at times. So I'm very appreciative of what our chaplains do, and they provide support for me personally, I can tell you that. And there's times I need it, trust me. And really our valuable asset to our employees, both sworn and civilian. Some of the most difficult jobs that we have are up in our communication center, because those folks up there take these calls and are talking directly to people during times of tragedy. and then don't get to respond out there and deal with those folks one-on-one. So with that said, I thank you very much for what you and your fellow chaplains do. And we've also got our fire department chaplain, one of those individuals here with us today, Chaplain Rick, who is we all know very well also. So with that said, Mayor?
Doctor, do you want to tell anything?
Sherry, do you want to explain the program a little bit?
Yes, she does.
All right. Let me have this is my immediate supervisor, Sherry, and she'll tell you a little bit about the program and how to get into the program.
I'm the volunteer coordinator at the police department, and when we initially began this program back in 2006, we sent letters out to all the faith community representatives in Gilbert, and proceeded to do interviews and oral boards for those that applied. And we ended up with 3 applicants. We later added 2 more, and we have a great group of chaplains that come down. They'll do ride-alongs with the officers. They wander the hallways, and it really is great to have them there for the support, and they're always friendly and nice. We really appreciate them. But we're not currently seeking any chaplains for the police department. With the 5 that we have, we're doing well. In the future, if we were ever seeking, there is an extensive background process that includes fingerprinting, your photographed copy of your driver's license, you go through polygraph, and a drug screen. Sure. So it takes a while, so we get the best of the best to serve us. And the process is very similar at the fire department for Chaplain Rick Allard. They have 3 chaplains with the fire department, and they serve on the different shifts that the firefighters are on, A, B, and C. And I think I'll pass it over to you, Chaplain Rick, if you don't mind, so you can explain a little bit about that.
It's very much similar to the police department chaplaincy program. So it gives support to not only the firefighters and their families, but also those who are in a crisis situation. And it's just a privilege to serve. And the contact person for the fire department is Kim Yonda, and her information is probably available.
It's been my privilege to be with the department for over 3 years now, working on my 4th year as a chaplain. And I count it a great honor and privilege to serve our community in this way. Our police officers are very special people, as are the firefighters. They go through a lot of trauma. And we're there for them primarily. That's our front line for the chaplains, and then for the community at large. We are involved in people's lives out there in the streets and the things, the tragedies that happen. And it's a great honor to be a police chaplain or a fire chaplain, and maybe someday you'll have that privilege.
On behalf of the town of Gilbert, Chaplain Doc, a certificate of appreciation. Chaplain Rick, certificate of appreciation. Sherry, if you could, for those who are not, the chaplain's not able to be here, can you give those, and can you give this group a nice round of applause? Next, and Patrick, stay seated, town council member, stay seated, but anyone else from the town of Gilbert, if you could please come up and stand right up in this vicinity. And so Sherry, that's you and Jim, the whole team. On your agenda, it says review 2010